Greetings and salutations everyone, I'm Ekamek, this is Of the Devil Let's Play. I might have gotten those few words a little bit out of order, but it doesn't matter. It's actually been quite some time. I don't remember what we were doing in the last episode. Mostly we just got to the crime scene, we turned on a VR system for examining the crime scene, and we are the lawyer in charge of this crime because Sarah was able to lie. Never gonna get used to it, the name Sarah though. There is an outline. And so this is where he died at the hospital. This is just where the medics found him. And it's the sensors and cameras they were wearing that create the basics for this ARCS? They didn't realize they were walking into a crime scene, but their body cams gathered data all the same. Where do we start? You can start by following behind me and trying to be as quiet as possible. I'm starting to get a feel for when she's pouting even without looking. Alright, so now we just poke around, I guess. A chessboard and a datapad with a series of characters on it. E4, C5, NF3, E6, D4, CXD4, NXD4. Aren't you the chess savant then? This is... seems like a game to me. Algebraic notation. Was he studying an old game or playing against himself? Black has checkmate in 40 moves. Wow, a robot that's good at chess. We ought to put you in a museum. But I'll take your word for it. What do you mean? Do you not play at Noir? No, especially not against David. Well, that is to be expected. Anyone who challenged Father to a battle of wits would naturally grow tired of losing. Every game starts the same, each player has the same pieces, the same moves, the same options. It's a true test of wit, strategy and forethought. To me it always seemed too... boring? Too fair. The smarter player wins every time. And that is something you take fault with? Of course! How's a gal like me supposed to win a game like that? Alright, what's out the window? I always admired this view. The buildings gleam with reflections of holograms and sunlight. Their shadows obscure all the rundown, rotting parts of town. Maybe the view's secondary. Maybe all anyone really wants is to put as much distance between them and the street level as possible. Is it possible a witness could have seen something through these windows? Not through these windows, no. David installed wide spectrum auto tint in all his homes, all his cars. I didn't know that. Well, you wouldn't notice unless you were viewing the penthouse from more than... Why did he care so much about his windows? Oh, I see. It's an ADHD joke. Better take a closer look. Password locked, but already cracked by the police it seems. All the docs were take-home safe, nothing spicy. When was it last used? 7:48 PM. Still reading work emails only a few minutes before he committed suicide? Morbid. There's a lot of messages marked priority that breadcrumb their way back to an article. Oh great, it's one of these again. Warm android blood saves soldier's life. Wait, it's this one again! In a stunning and heroic episode, one of our nation's brave soldiers had their life saved by a noble android. in a way no other competitor's product could. A brave private was wounded during a military operation whose exact nature and location is currently classified. Bleeding badly and far from the nearest triage station, he was carried to safety by his fellow freedom fighter. An Animate 16 Enforcer, one of the few warm androids being currently tested out by the armed forces. The android didn't just sit there and wait for evac, it opened up it. This is the article I've seen going around. I wasn't finished reading that. It opened up its own arteries and pumped life-saving UD synthetic plasma into the young man's veins, stabilizing him long enough for him to reach a military hospital. I have no doubt he'd be dead if there was any other android fighting alongside him, said one commanding officer who asked not to be named. I always thought Noble was only good at making ads that look good. Now I know they've got something else inside that no one else can compete with. This feels scripted. The story brings a well-deserved shot in the arm to Noble's stock prices and market share. With this one heroic moment, Noble's warm androids have proven themselves to be worth their price tag and then some. And people in the capital are paying attention. It's certainly an interesting idea, Senator Mathing said when asked about committing to a military contract for Noble to provide the armed forces with more role models. This story's got people talking. If we just ignore our constituents' feelings on this matter, we'd be neglecting our duty as politicians, and I know none of my peers would ever try to put a price on the life of one of our soldiers. While additional details about the incident have remained closely guarded, the net is already ablaze with talk of, "Oh damn, you're not logged into this device, why don't you pop your user details down below and enable crumbs so you can get the user experience you deserve?" I'm sorry, but this isn't an article I feel worth tying my personal details to. Anyway, this is that article I've seen going around. But why would Noble have it marked as priority? Starling said they weren't in any rush to pat each other on the back over it, even though they'd won themselves a real prize. F5 for the quick save. It's a nice fat bump in PR for Noble, one of their ads saving a soldier's life. Ah, gotcha. Quick autosave. Oh wow, they actually have a lot of autosaves. Wait, no. Quick autosaves. This is confusing me, I think. It seems that I can't quick save during those choices, which is kind of unfair. Military contract. They now have the excuse they need to pressure the military into a contract for warm androids. Can't dismiss the expensive upgrade as unnecessary now that it saved a soldier's life. This time next year there'll be pink oxidizing fluid being spilt all over the globe. Rose River Whiskey, 12 years old. You recognize it. Sure, he was more than partial to the brand. It's a good brand, only a bit overpriced, which is the bargain of a lifetime in David's world. It appears that the police have already tested its contents. No foreign matter present, was their conclusion. Is it possible the police missed the poison? No, even if they can't identify the poison, they can check its presence by comparing samples of the whiskey to a bottle off the store shelf. so we can eliminate that the bottle of whiskey was poisoned. So we've already seen this article. Evidence. We actually have a piece of evidence now. Will wonders never cease? A bottle of Rose River whiskey found on the dining table at the scene of the crime. Forensic analysis shows no foreign elements or toxins. Known to be a brand favoured by the deceased. I feel like it is important to check evidence the moment you get it, just so it sinks in and you're more likely to remember it when it's important. Plus, evidence does change. I remember that from case 0. We'll have to find our smoking gun somewhere else. Spilled alcohol. The ARCS shows how it looked last night before it evaporated. No foreign substances in the puddle. It's clean. So does that mean wherever this spill came from might be clean as well? Whiskey found spilled on the dining room table. After evaporating for most of the night, there's little left to test. No foreign compounds have been found, but results are deemed inconclusive. Two cups, one empty, knocked over, one mostly empty. These look cheap. Did his guest bring them? I've seen them before in the basement liquor cabinet. He kept these lying around. I knew he regifted those crystal glasses I got him. ARCS says there's nothing foreign in the upright one, so it can't have been poisoned. Results are inconclusive on the other cup, however. Looks bone dry. Must have been nothing but fumes left by the time this was considered a crime scene. Just not enough data, enough for them to test. Inconclusive could mean that inconclusive means inconclusive, that's all. Cheer up and read the results of the fingerprinting. Father's prints are on both cups as expected, but there are someone else's still in the upright cup, so someone else must have been with him last night. Slow down, all that proves is that someone else touched the cup. It doesn't tell us when they did it. And since we don't know who the prints belong to... Adenoir, why don't we know who the prints belong to? Are the prints flagged as unidentified or... No, there's enough space for a name but the field is black. Shit, am I already too late to the action? Detective Reyes. Yeah. There's a second set of prints on the cups. Is there a form you'd like me to sign? Doesn't matter how nicely you ask. Sometimes people just can't answer. You should know that well, Madam Counselor. I was afraid you'd say that. I don't understand, Adenoir. What does this mean? It means that whomever those prints belong to has a very proactive representation. Those prints belong to a witness, as you've guessed. You're more than welcome to their testimony, but their identity is... The department is being very considerate of the witness's privacy out of respect for their time and appreciation for their cooperation. Fine, forget the name. That easily? Subpoenas are always an option, but I'm short on time. How does this differ from real life? A legal order issued by the state on behalf of the prosecution or the defense that compels the arrest party to give testimony, provide information, or turn over evidence. Failure to comply with a subpoena will result in being charged with contempt of the court. That sounds unusually reasonable for this game. It's also not nearly as funny as it was in Tales of Monkey Island, where it's voodoo magic that forces you to walk into the courtroom. What did the witness have to say for themselves, Detective? To paraphrase, they came to see Dr. Asher last night. The two of them talked, they had a drink together. Then the doctor got sick, so they activated the emergency system from the panel in the kitchen. The EMTs came and took them both to the hospital. Ash's condition got worse. All of the witness's vitals were normal. The witness had their vitals taken. Then there should be a record of their admission at Gatesfield. And that's it. I'm guessing you didn't just take all of that on faith. The number is set up in most of the rooms on this floor. Everything the witness told us was corroborated by the building's own surveillance system. So yes, we can guarantee that the witness never put anything into Ash's drink. I'm guessing I can't have the keys to the penumbra, can I? Not until the witness's lawyers are done reviewing it. Lawyers, plural. I don't have time to trade jabs with the law officers of Johnson, Johnson, Johnson and Johnson. Say, how about I give you the business card? The law officers of Koschler, Gustav, Prince and Prince. I was close. No way I'll be getting any client information out of them directly. Do you know them personally or something? If all your bloodsuckers want to get together and tear each other apart, text me before you start. I'd like to watch. Yeah, I bet you like to watch. What? What does that even mean? I don't know. Needed a moment to think. So that's basically the retort of your mom, or takes one to know one. So that was it? One chat, one peek at the cams, and you've already eliminated them as a suspect? Look, they were searched. They didn't have any poison, any drugs, not even a stick of gum. Even if they somehow did have poison on them, the camera footage confirms they had no opportunity to use it. They drank from the same bottle as a dead man. As far as the department's concerned, they were nearly the second victim. But they aren't dead, or even ill from the sound of things. So you think he poisoned his own cup beforehand, then poured for the both of them from a safe bottle? That's what the evidence is telling us. There's nothing in the bottle or the witness's cup. But after drinking from his cup, a cup he prepared himself, he fell ill, the witness didn't. And Asher died with a foreign substance in his body. An unidentified foreign substance. Suicide by poison. I get that you were close. Simple explanations aren't all that satisfying. But that's life. One last thing. You said he prepared his cup himself. Did you see that on camera? He left the parlor to get the drinks and came back with his already poured. The witness says he got them from the basement. The witness says that, not the cameras. There's no cams in the lab or the basement. What does evidence have for us? Saliva and fingerprints match an unknown individual. Plastic cup. Forensic shows matches for his fingerprints and saliva, but toxicology tests have proven inconclusive. Too much was drunk and or evaporated. Wait, back into that. It makes Sarah look actually kinda demonic there, doesn't it? There's no cams in the lab or the basement. That seems like a security hazard. Why would Noble not set things up more carefully? It might have been David's choice there, so don't be too aggressive. It's intentional. If the cams of his lab ever got hacked, outsiders could steal his IP and kick Noble's monopoly to the curb. Right. David did complain about Noble's weird protocols for combating corporate espionage. At least we can take comfort in knowing that Father wasn't alone when he died. Yeah, that's worth investigating. Witness testimony. Statement made by the... Oh wow, that's quite the distracting wall of text. Statements made by the singular witness David Asher's suspected poisoning and death, corroborated by video evidence. The witness arrived at 7:30 p.m. The witness spoke with David Asher in his parlor before he left to retrieve liquor from his basement at 7:36. Upon returning at 7:38, the two of them continued speaking while they both drank. David Asher felt lethargic and disoriented shortly after 8 p.m. David Asher lost consciousness at 8:03. EMs were called from the emergency console in the kitchen at 8:04. David Asher and the witness were taken to Gatesfield Memorial Hospital at 8:08. Considering how genre-defying the game has been so far, I could believe that this is just a depressing... Yeah, at the end of the day, it really was him himself, but I feel like that would lead to an unsatisfying mystery, which is not something you want to do when you're only on the first case with paid episodes. One chair knocked over, probably where David was sitting, and one chair pulled out, a party of two. He never cared much for socializing, but he enjoyed hosting. Contradictory guy. Alright, let's check the body. It says here that when the medics arrived, he was on the floor face up. Does that tell you something? Oh wait, that was Sarah. She doesn't get it either, but she's trying to think about it too. Hey, if you were going to drink a glass of poison, would you be sitting or standing when you did it? I find it very difficult to speculate on that hypothetical scenario. The seat by his body is pulled out. If he was seated when he lost consciousness, I would expect to find him slumped over on the table. But he wasn't found slumped over. No, he wasn't. And if he had been standing when he lost consciousness, I would think he would have fallen forward, or at least collapsed less neatly. So what can you conclude from that, Adenoir? Only that I'm missing something. Police androids monitoring the scene. Could almost mistake them for the real thing, the way they stand there trying to look important. Like an indoor dog taking its first trip to the park. Pardon? Why are you looking at it like you've never seen an android before? Because I haven't, in person. David didn't even let you have a mirror? Brutal. Just scan its gin if you're that curious. Unless that's considered too forward or whatever. Seems like that's everything critical on this side of the room, which leaves the kitchen. You said there's camera footage of the dining room showing us David and his guest. What about in here? The only camera in the kitchen is the one mounted on the call terminal. The console took a snap image when the witness came in to contact emergency services. May I see it? Not unless you scrape the witness's face off the pic first. Don't tempt me. 5 minutes, we can keep investigating. 3 unwashed dishes and a single glass. Raise, these dishes haven't been scanned for prints yet. And I just assumed you might want to do your job. Yeah, there are prints. Most match the victim. But there's also... Hey! Don't sneak up on me like that. All I did was walk over to you. You knocked over the salt, Adenoir. I was focused on the task at hand. Didn't realize tunnel vision was a selling point on your mod. Adenoir, the salt. As I was saying, the witness's prints are on the glass. That glass in the sink? They were drinking from cups in the parlour. Did you see a glass on camera? No. So when did they touch this glass? You need to toss it over your shoulder. Witness must have thought about giving the guy some water, but he would have just choked on it if they had tried. What, you think this glass was the murder weapon? It's bad luck, Adenoir. Whacked him on the back of the head so fast it went between video frames. That's genius. You should go through the video footage frame by frame to prove your theory. Be careful, Raze. You really don't want to give her You don't want to give her opportunities to hassle you. Mature. It's bad luck. What have you been going on about? The salt? Shouldn't the machine be above petty superstitions? It's not a superstition, it's an ancient wisdom. Give me one logical reason to care then. If too much salt spills onto your food, it'll make you gag. Maybe it's on me for setting the bar too low there, then. A salt shaker that was accidentally knocked over during the investigation. The cap was loose and so salt spilled all over the countertop next to the sink. Knocked over during the investigation? Spilled salt is an omen of bad luck, according to some. Consuming too much will make you consuming too much salt at once will make you gag, according to Sarah. Why do I? It's in our evidence. We're probably going to need to use that at some point. A glass of water found in the sink of David Ash's kitchen. There's the DNA and fingerprints of the unknown witness. No trace of any poison. The knife cabinet. Messy workspaces but a pristine kitchen. David was a good cook, but only for others. Unless he had a guest, he'd happily eat instant ramen and protein bars for all 3 meals, or 2, or 1. No signs of food prep to be found, not so much as a cheese board. So whoever this guest was, they must have shown up unannounced. This is where the emergency call was made. What time did the call go out? 8:04 p.m. Before you ask, the witness left the parlor at 8:03 p.m. Not enough time for them to alter the scene. I wasn't going to ask that. When did the medics arrive? 8:08 p.m., remember? Hell of a response time for a penthouse. Private EMS came by air? Yeah, they landed on the VTOL pad you saw outside. Took him to Gatesfield. The very best if you can afford it. Looking around here, seems like he could afford a lot. He got his insurance through his employer just like most people. Caduceus's executive plan 4 isn't like most people. Counselor. David Ash's health insurance policy with Caduceus, paid for through Noble Electronics, includes private EMS services on standby. Caduceus only offers 3 levels of employer-provided plans that outrank it. Okay. He had executive level? Not like most people at all. Okay, one more then we wrap up the episode. Although this will probably jump straight into a cutscene, so actually not one more, we just wrap up the episode next time we look at the door. Until next time guys, take care. I'll see you all around. Oh, okay, so this thing in the bottom left corner indicates it's in the investigation mode. Gotcha!